Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Richardson Hitchens beats down and stops George Kambosos in 8 rounds to retain his IBF super lightweight title. Now going into this fight, I think we all expected Richardson Hitchens to get the job done. Kambosos, former lightweight, moving up. A guy whose level has been exposed since his win over Teofimo Lopez back in the day. I think that fight for George Kambosos, as I speculated back then, was kind of just like the stars aligning, where he kind of caught Teofimo at the worst time possible. He got the win, he made the most of it, but it kind of enhanced Kambosos' reputation above where it should be, and I think it made a lot of people overrate him. You know, Kambosos is an alright fighter, but I don't think he's not elite, he's not world class, he's just a decent sort of fringe contender. That's his actual level, in my opinion. And at 140, I think he is a little bit undersized as well. But regardless, we all expected Hitchens to win, but I felt the impetus here was on Hitchens to look good, and he did. I've never been the biggest fan of Richardson Hitchens. I find his style at times boring. You go back to the Lemos fight, Gustavo Lemos, I felt he lost that fight arguably. So there's been a lot in Hitchens' career that I haven't really appreciated personally. Several of the performances, to me, it just looks like he does the bare minimum to get the job done, and he doesn't go out there to try and put it on the opponents. But this fight was different. This fight, he basically boxed George Kambosos to death. And this sort of performance is what people imagine that guys like Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney do. This is boxing. If you want to fight in that sort of style, jab, long punches, keeping distance, countering, you can do it in an authoritative manner, and I felt Hitchenson did that in this fight. Right from round 1, his jab was on point, very quick, snapped out very fast, accurate, splitting the guard of Kambosos. Kambosos at the start of the fight was kind of like, I guess, trying to walk down Richardson Hitchens, but he was walking into the jab. As round 1 went on, Hitchens started to use the counter right hand, the pull counter right hand, when Kambosos would try and get close. You know, he found a home for his straight shots immediately. Kambosos, to me, looked like he was trying to counter the body, which I guess was smart, but it opened him up to the head. Round 2 was kind of funny because Kambosos then started to try to jab to the body, but every single time he was getting caught by like a pull counter right hand, where Hitchens is a taller, longer guy, so when Kambosos would try to jab to the body, Hitchenson would just bring that pull counter right hand down onto Kambosos, and he did this like every time Kambosos threw that jab to the body, he was getting caught by that shot. But you know, after that happened for like the 3rd time, you would imagine that Kambosos would try something different, but no, he just kept on trying that jab to the body, and every time he was getting countered. But yeah, some really good counter-punching in round 2 by Hitchens. Again, not loading up on the shots, but you know, landing. 3rd and 4th rounds, Hitchens really kind of grinding down Kambosos with the jab. You know, throwing 1-2s, 1-2-1s, throwing a few more combinations as the fight progresses, just slowly kind of taking apart Kambosos. Kambosos would try to counter to the body, like I said. Some of those body shots did get through, but no real effect. Occasionally, Kambosos would land like an overhand right that would split the guard of Richardson Hitchens, but again, nothing of any consequence. But yeah, for the first 4 rounds, I felt the straight punching of Richardson Hitchens was really, really good. Like really, really smooth, really sharp. And that's how I would describe this performance. I wouldn't describe it as flashy. I would describe it as smooth, just very clean from Hitchens. Round 5 though, Hitchens started to go to the body even more. Actually hurt Kambosos badly with a left to the body, like a bolo left, right to the solar plexus, I think it was. You could see the grimace on Kambosos' face. Fought through the pain, he tried to fire back. Somehow got through the round without getting dropped. A lot of toughness on display by Kambosos, but Not much else. Not much else. I liked, Hitchens didn't try to rush his work after he caught Kambosos to the body. In fact, Kambosos actually did a pretty good job of surviving. He threw back whilst also sometimes getting a bit messy, clinching, etc. So he got through the round, Kambosos. Round 6, Hitchinson, or Hitchens. I always call him Hitchenson. I don't know why. I think it's because his name's Richardson. But Hitchens, in round 6, actually was more front foot heavy. He mixed things up. He tried to walk back Kambosos. And he gave Kambosos opportunities in round 6. It was Kambosos' best round in the fight. He actually landed a few shots to both body and head. But again, nothing of consequence. Hitchens was trading with Kambosos in round 6. Especially going to the body, trying to get a reaction there again. Also finding that left hook to the head as well in the exchanges. Despite Kambosos having a better round in round 6, I would still give it to Hitchens due to cleaner punches. After round 6, Hitchens went back to his long-range boxing, back behind the jab, breaking down Kambosos, realising he wasn't quite ready to go. Good poise, good posture. Again, outboxing Kambosos. And in round 8 was where the fight ended. He found that left hand to the body again. It drops Kambosos. Kambosos does beat the count, but the referee waved it off. Now, it was a mercy stoppage. I think you can make the argument that Kambosos should have been let to continue if you do think that. I've got no issue with that, but this fight was only going one way. Kambosos, you could see as this fight played out that there was a lack of power on his punches. He's not a big puncher anyway, but you could tell that the steam was totally off his punches. He had no chance to win this fight. And when he did catch Hitchens, it caused no reaction as far as I'm concerned. So, listen, it was a mercy stoppage. It was what it was. And overall, I think this is the best display aesthetically in Hitchens' career so far. And I think he needed that, to be honest with you. I think he needed that. A lot of hardcore fans know who he is. But, he needs to push himself onto that next level and try to get these big sort of unification fights, etc. And these are the sort of performances that will get you there or stands you a better chance of getting there. After the fight, he called out Devin Haney in a fashion in which I enjoyed. And, Teofimo Lopez was also there as well, saying that he may be open to a Hitchens fight. Well, I don't really trust Teofimo Lopez. You know what he's like, but either or, I'm happy with a Teo fight. I'm happy with a Devin Haney fight. In fact, I think he would beat Devin Haney, I'll be honest, based on that performance. I know Kambosos has never been great, and I know he's more than likely faded. But I think I would take Hitchens over Haney, to be honest. But I'd rather see the Teo fight, personally, actually. I'd rather see the Teo fight. Or Matias, if Matias beats Alberto Puello coming up. There's some fights out there for Hitchens, and hopefully he continues in this manner. There's been a lot of talk recently about running in boxing and etc. You can box and not run. I think people are really dishonest. When people complain about runners, people say, oh, you just don't like boxing. I think they're being very dishonest. There are rules in boxing in regards to clinching, in regards to ducking below the waist, in regards to even throwing punches, believe it or not. And a lot of these so-called slicksters break rules constantly. They make fights boring. You can box and be fun. You can box and be entertaining. You can box and be interesting. And I felt this is what that sort of performance was. It was boxing. It was long range primarily, but you could see he was slowly beating down Kambosos. And that's all you want. He wasn't taking crazy risks. He took some risks in round 6. You can box and still be entertaining. It's just called throwing fucking punches, And I feel that Hitchens, it's funny that this performance comes at this time when we're talking about runners and etc. This is the sort of performance that a Shakur Stevenson could deliver, I'd imagine. a Devin Haney could deliver, but they just don't, you know? So, yeah, fair play to Hitchens. Never been his biggest fan, to tell you the truth, but step in the right direction. I quite enjoyed that performance, to tell you the truth. But anyway, share your thoughts below. Beanie Guy Delboy, peace.